The debate over the best way to taste and drink whiskey is a timeless one. Decades ago, many Scotch drinkers passionately supported drinking whiskey neat, perhaps with a drop of water, but nothing else. No mixers or ice, as that ruins the drink. Nowadays, whiskey has changed its image and went from an old man's drink to a modern, hip spirit to enjoy in cocktails, with mixers, with ice, basically, any way the drinker wants. This article will finish off with some great ways to begin drinking whiskey and really get into the category. However, we'll first explore how to taste whiskey like an expert, should you want to delve deeper into each expression. Most brand ambassadors, whiskey experts, and distillers have their own way of tasting whiskey and hosting a tasting for guests. The famed Richard Patterson, master distiller of the Dalmore distillery, is one of the most charismatic whiskey hosts around, known for his fun, playful process of speaking to the whiskey as one tastes it. Some experts lead guests through the tasting with personal notes, while others allow drinkers to taste and express what they taste on their own. Nonetheless, no matter the method, there is a set of simple steps one must take when tasting whiskey in order to get the most out of each drop. Pour a glass, don't add anything yet, and here we go. The first step is to simply look at the whiskey in your glass, preferably against a white background. The color of whiskey can tell you quite a lot about it. Some are amber, light gold, others are very light. These colors tell the story of what kind of cask the whiskey was matured in, where it was made, and how long it aged. Usually older whiskies will be darker. First fill casks impart more color than refill casks. It gets very complicated, but in a tasting look at your whiskey, swirl it in your glass, and get ready to taste. Experiencing the aromas of a whiskey is, perhaps, the most important part of the tasting. Bring your nose to the glass slowly, as many expressions can be over 50% ABV and thus too intense, if your nose isn't accustomed. Get in close to the glass, take your time, and start sniffing. Some recommend frequent, small sniffs, while others say long soft sniffs are better. However, this isn't important. Take your time, and slowly smell the whiskey. Try to focus on certain aromas, and what they remind you of. As a beginner this can be hard, but aim for one aroma at first and build up to more. Take 30 seconds to 1 minute here and break it down as much as you can. Now it's time for tasting, so take a small sip. Personally, I feel washing the first sip around your mouth for a few seconds and then swallowing prepares your palate for the following sips. Again, different experts have different recommendations, but I recommend not overcomplicating any step in the process. Take the first sip, then take another. As with the aromas, try to focus on flavors that immediately pop into your head. There is no wrong answer.